Hello everyone, it's Brick from My Attempt at History here, and wow, has it been a long time since I uploaded anything. Well, you see, school demands attention. There was a bug, I apologize. But as you can see, it's summer now. How fun! Well, sort of summer, it's technically late spring, but it's like 90 degrees right now, so good stuff. Anyway, so I figured I'd do a little bit of a video for y'all, those loyal subscribers who actually care if I'm still alive or not. And you might ask, what's the subject of that video? If I step aside, I've got a pup tent set up here, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. Alrighty, so what we got here is my wonderful 1988 dated U.S. Army pup tent with the triangular front halves, which, although for World War II isn't perfectly accurate, it's a lot nicer than the actual World War II ones. So this is what I use for my pup tent. I don't have really good stakes either. I'm actually going to be getting those hopefully. And I don't have tent poles, or at least correct tent poles for it yet. And I'll be getting those as well. But that's not what we're talking about right now. What we're going to talk about today, dang, bugs are friggin' everywhere, sorry about that, is, well, how it's set up and how I would sleep in this pup tent at an event. Usually I would be carrying a lot more gear, and I would be not wearing civilian clothes and just an HBT jacket. But just for example, I've got my 28 haversack there, canteen. It's hot today, so, staying hydrated. But in here, we have what looks like a tarp or some kind of canvas cover. In fact, that is a 1959 dated U.S. Army poncho used in the Korean War. These ponchos were nearly identical to the late war World War II ones, except for the difference of them having a hood. And then I just have a wool blanket laid out because, well, that's your GI bed right there. You got your ground cover, your blanket, and your shelter above your head. Now, this is 2 shelter halves instead of 1, like 1 GI would be carrying. But when you're reenacting, that's a concession that is made. Now, there's an alternative to the poncho ground cover. You can use the, I don't know the exact model date on it, but the raincoat that was issued to USGIs. And you can use that as a ground cover as well, but Reenactment Days has one of those. If you don't know who he is, check him out. And he has that in his really old pup tent video, actually. But anyway, I digress. That doesn't work as well in our experience, but it does a similar enough job. The nice thing about a real big ground cover like this is you can hide things underneath it if you'd like. For example, say you don't want to sleep on the hard ground. You can, if you want to be dirty and if you want to be like the GIs were taught to do it, you can get some leaves and sticks and various foliage objects, make a nice bedding layer of squishy stuff, and then put your ground cover over it and sleep on that. Or you can be like us modern folk and you can get like a camping bed mat, a little bit of ground padding, put that underneath, throw this over it, and nobody will know none of the difference. Me right now, who have set up this pup tent in one of the lower areas of my yard, mostly because of the shade and because it's a nice area to show you people in. Set your pup tent up on high ground if possible. After all, these don't have a bottom to them. It's actually important that you leave a little bit of space between the ground and your tent so that water, can drain from the thing if it gets inside. But since they don't have a bottom, that's why we have a ground cover, such, so forth. Staying dry is hard. Just be prepared to get wet. Bring extra socks and stuff. This poncho is fairly new to me, but my goodness, do we really wish we had this as some of the previous reenactments that me and Reenactment Days have gone to. You see, we used to share a pup tent because I didn't have one of my own. And, one time we forgot a ground tarp. He had his raincoat and I didn't have anything. So that was a long and difficult night of not sleeping. Video's been kind of all over the place, but I figured I would just share what a fairly basic setup for sleeping in a pup tent is for a reenactment or a living history event, or if you just want to be a weirdo like me and Reenactment Days do sometimes and do some vintage camping. There you go. For a longer event, I recommend you get some clothespins because these guidelines can be, oh boy, there goes my HBTs. These guidelines can be your savior. So get some wooden clothespins, and if, say, your socks are all sweaty and gross, or one of your pairs of underwear, always bring multiple. are sweaty and gross, you can clip it to your guideline here and dry it out on your tent while you're doing whatever you're doing during the day. And, of course, miscellaneous items, not too many, make it look a lot better. Sticking your garrison cap on the top here while you're wearing your helmet, or, in vice versa, putting your helmet on top there. Having a few personal items inside, having your haversack there, different bits and bobs. I often will put my footlocker like right here, and so the triangle flap can still close, but I'll have this. I will oftentimes sit on my footlocker and I can face in the pup tent and do whatever I'm going to do in there. This video has gone on long enough. So that's my quick and, well, not quick, little take on pup tents, and after you get them set up, what you should do to not be farb when you're sleeping in them. Like, comment, subscribe, I don't know, do whatever the heck you want to do. Comment down below, geez, the bugs were horrible and filming this video was incredibly difficult and took a million takes. Or say, wow, wonderful pup tent setup. We're so proud of you. Or just call me terrible and call me farb. I don't care. Thanks for watching. See you again real soon.